brought this banana on the boat and I ate it on the boat just to prove to everybody that this has nothing to do with luck. Today is Saturday, July 31st. I'm back out here on the Sound. I'm gonna do striper fishing. Couldn't do it yesterday. It was just way too windy. I did manage to get one. It was a nice fish that almost broke my 130-pound leader off. But anyway, you might notice in this video, and that last video if I even post that I don't have my wheels up in the front anymore. Everybody kept asking me, oh, doesn't it bother you that you have those wheels up in front? No, it doesn't bother me that there's wheels in the front of my kayak, or now they're in the back of my kayak. You know why it doesn't bother me that there's wheels on my kayak? Because I don't have a vagina. It doesn't bother the fish either. Looks like the tide's on its way out, but I don't really care what the tide's doing, because if the striped bass are there, the prophecy pipe is gonna work. It's guaranteed. Guaranteed gonna work. Enough of me talking. Let's do some fishing.
I just caught him down right here.
Nice. Over in this area or out?
Literally right where we are.
Rainbow red. I got a longer piece than I should have on there. These guys have been stealing my worms all day. Little diaper. True diaper. So I've just been going with a really, like no worm on there at all, just enough for the scent. Another diaper. And a little dike. Geronimo! He swam back that way. Still some big ones here, so I'm gonna keep trying until I get them, until I get hit by a boat and drown. Hanging out on the point. A couple inches bigger. They're growing.
Hey, what'd you have, 10 feet of line out?
Not much, because I was right on that rock. I probably had about 20 yards out, but he's bigger than the ones I was catching. Dude, this hook went through his mouth twice. You gotta be shitting me here. Let me just cut the net. Not the way I like to let fish go. Swam away really good. Just right on that rock. You heard him ask me how much line did you have out. Just enough to where I wasn't hitting, getting stuck on the bottom. Because you're not going to mark a fish like that. All he was reading was the spearing that were all over the place. It's hard to mark them when they're in 3 feet of water and behind a rock or under a rock. Let's see if we can't get some bigger ones. 45. If you watch that video where I got the 40+ pounder, you could see how quickly, like there's one clip where a striper comes in from the right side of the screen, comes in, hits it, and leaves. You can't even see it, put the hook in his mouth, but he hits the hook. He comes in, he eats the worm, hits the hook, and it's gone in, less than a second. The striped bass are the best fish at putting bait in their mouth and spitting it out quicker than any other species that I've ever dealt with in my life. It's unbelievable how quickly they can put something in their mouth and get it out. And that's why I didn't catch as many fish today as I should have, because I definitely had fish where the hook was in their mouth, and because I was trolling so slow, it wasn't enough to pierce their lips. You want to go fast enough to make the hook set, but sometimes you got to really slow your speed down to make that tube sink to the bottom. And that's what I've been doing, because I'd rather feel the hit and just take a quick swing, because my hands are free. And that's what I did right there. I just set that hook immediately and I was able to get him in the boat. But let's try to get some big boys. Rainbow red. So that's exactly what it is. It's got the colors of a rainbow. $25 available on prophecypipes.com. Real fish. My drag is so tight. Did you see him at all on the screen? Big fish. Oh, my leader. Fuck. Hopefully he takes some drag so I can reel that. Holy shit. He came right up, but he's a big fish. He's a big boy. Nice fish. See if I can get a weight on him. Hooked him pretty good. Dude, that was so sick. Look how marked up he is. I can't hold him. It's only like 20 pounds. It's only 17 pounds. He felt so heavy. Nice summertime bass.
Nice fish.
It's about 35.
Was he down the bottom?
Yeah, I was pretty deep.
You know what?
You want to keep him?
You still got him?
He's like 35. He's in the slot.
He's in the slot.
Actually, he might be. He's over a little bit.
They
Never.
look bigger than
Yeah,
the
he's
slot.
over.
You let it go?
Yeah. Yeah, he's a little over 35. Right on this point here, and yet again, no mark on the screen. Like I said, I don't know if I'm going to put it in the video, because I don't remember what day I said it. But a lot of people, and I know I would do it too, and that's one reason I don't want a fish finder, is you'll see a school of bait. Not that this happened here, but you see a school of bait on your screen, and you don't see anything below it. So you just keep going. And that's one reason I don't want a fish finder, because I know I would fall into that. But a lot of times there is fish under the bait that you're not marking, and it's for the simple fact that it's sonar. When a school is packed in so tight, the sonar's not getting below it. It's not going through all those fish to give you a clear enough mark that there's, blues or weak fish, something packing it in, or stripers. That's one reason, and another reason is that fish wasn't on the screen. It could have been under a rock, in between rocks that it just didn't mark. I don't know why that one didn't mark, but that was a really big bass hanging out right on this point. And man, I wish I had the whole take on film, because he hit it and my drag went. And I keep my drag wenched down. It's basically like maxed out at 25 pounds, and he was pulling it. That was really awesome fish. Tied him out really quickly, and the water's 71 degrees, so he burned out real quick. And I'm surprised he was pretty light for his size. Wasn't even 20 pounds. Because I have to rinse all this stuff off. Rinse the tubes down. Run the swivel through fresh water, and wipe the hook off. Because rust will grow. I mean, you could always file the rust off, but if you really want to keep it in great working condition, rinse it off and then dry it with a rag or something. little is this fish? It's like 14 inches. That's a diaper. That was a 2. Fucking belly flop. Strong for the size. Really strong. This is a healthy fish. Very healthy. Look at his mouth twice. Ow. Fucking stab me. Take little schoolies any day over no fish. Right on the point. That was a good dive. Very little splash. Went right down to the bottom. Early in the year, stripers are much more willing, even the small ones, to take the whole worm. He's so small. The drag doesn't go out for these guys. And yours shouldn't either. Glisten on there. It gives off that luminescent color. The worms can do that too on their underside. This one's kind of old. You make that look like it's a part of it. Just let out a lot of line, get to the bottom, and just go very slow. It'll work. If you do it right, you'll be successful. It's that simple. Look at those colors. It just adds a little bit more shine to it. It makes it a little bit more attractive than just a regular red tube. Because striped bass, especially big striped bass, they've seen it all. They've seen regular red tubes go by them for the last 30 years. Get a big one, and that's how it works. Persistence. So don't be lazy about it, because when you're lazy, you're not going to get anything. When the line is frayed up, retie it. If there's any question, cut the line and retie it. Laziness has no place in fishing. That's how you lose really big fish, when you're lazy, and that's also how you catch no fish. So you don't want to change spots. You don't want to do whatever because you're lazy. You can do it. I have faith in every single person watching this that if they really want to catch big striped bass, you could do it on these tubes very easily. Just put in a little bit of time. But he's catching a lot of striped bass. For the first couple hours, he was the only one catching fish. I wasn't catching anything. After I break that world record, or set a new world record, I'm never using a barb again. It's the best on the market. I really believe in these things. Keep your sandworms on ice. Keep them cold, because they will spoil, especially in the summer sun. That's it. Thank you. Like, subscribe, and have a great night. I'm going home. Get some dinner. Take a shower. I smell like fish. So yeah, big striped bass. Don't get big by being stupid. These fish are a lot smarter than people give them credit for. So if there's any flaws in your game, regardless of what type of lure or bait you're using, a larger striped bass is going to see that flaw before the smaller ones do. If your game is flawless, that's the recipe for really large fish and persistence. You can't just come out here for 2 hours and catch 100 fish. I'm sure there are days where you can do that, but that's not reality. It doesn't always work like that. You got to grind.